Organ and organ system. The basic tissues mentioned above organize to form the organs, which in turn associate to form the organ systems in the multicellular organisms. Such an organization is essential for the more efficient and better coordinated activity of the millions of the cells constituting an organism. Each organ in our body is made up of one or more types of the tissues. For example, our heart consists of the four types of the tissues, that is the epithelial, connective, muscular, and the neural. We also notice after some careful study that the complexity in the organ and organ systems display discernible trend. This discernible trend is called evolutionary trend. You will study the details in class 12th. You are being introduced to the morphology and the anatomy of the three organisms at different evolutionary levels to show their organization and functioning. Morphology refers to the study of the form or the external visible features. In case of plants or microbes, the term morphology precisely means only this. In case of animals, this refers to the external appearance of the organ or parts of the body. The word anatomy conventionally is used for the study of the morphology of the internal organs in the animals. You will learn the morphology and the anatomy of the cockroach, earthworm, and frog representing the invertebrates and the vertebrates. Earthworm. Earthworm is a reddish-brown terrestrial invertebrate that inhabits the upper layer of the moist soil. During daytime, they live in burrows made by burrowing and swallowing the soil. In the gardens, they can be traced by the fecal deposits known as the worm castings. The common Indian earthworm are Ferratima and Lumbricus. Morphology. Earthworm has long cylindrical body. The body is divided into more than 100 short segments which are similar, metamers about 100 to 120 in number. The dorsal surface of the body is marked by a dark median mid-dorsal line, dorsal blood vessel along the longitudinal axis of the body. The ventral surface is distinguished by the presence of the genital opening spores. The anterior end consists of the mouth and the prostomium, a lobe which serves as a covering for the mouth and as a wedge to force open the cracks in the soil into which the earthworm may crawl. The prostomium is sensory in function. The first body segment is called the peristomium buccal segment, which contains the mouth. In a mature worm, segments 14 to 16 are covered by a prominent dark band of glandular tissue called the clitellum. Thus, the body is divisible into three prominent regions: preclitellar, clitellar, and the postclitellar segments. Four pairs of the spermatical apertures are situated on the ventrolateral sides of the intersegmental grooves, that is, the 5th to 9th segments. A single female genital pore is present in the mid-ventral line of the 14th segment. A pair of the male genital poles are present on the ventrolateral sides of the 18th segment. Numerous minute pores called the nephridiopores are open on the surface of the body. In each body segment except the first, last, and the clitellum, there are rows of S-shaped setae embedded in the epidermal pits in the middle of each segment. Setae can be extended or retracted. Their principal role is in locomotion. Anatomy. The body wall of the earthworm is covered externally by a thin non-cellular cuticle, below which is the epidermis, two muzzle layers, circular and longitudinal, and the innermost coelomic epithelium. The epidermis is made up of a single layer of the columnar epithelium cells which contain secretory gland cells. Alimentary canal is straight tube and runs between the first to the last segments of the body. A terminal mouth opens into the buccal cavity 1 to 3 segments which leads into the muscular pharynx. A small narrow tube, esophagus, 5 to 7 segments continues into the muscular gizzard with 8 to 9 segments. It helps in grinding the soil particles and decaying leaves, etc. The stomach extends from the 9 to the 14 segments. The food of the earthworm is decaying leaves and organic matter mixed with soil. Calciferous glands present in the stomach neutralize the humic acid present in the humus. Intestine starts from the 15th segment onwards and continues till the last segment. A pair of short and conical intestinal cecae project from the intestine on the 26th segment. The characteristic feature of the intestine after the 26th segment, except the last 23rd to 25th segments, is the presence of the internal median fold of dorsal wall called the typhlosole. This increases the effective area of absorption in the intestine. The alimentary canal opens to the exterior by a small rounded aperture called the anus. The ingested organic rich soil passes through the digestive tract where the digestive enzymes break down the complex food into smaller absorbable units. These simpler molecules are absorbed through the intestinal membranes and are utilized. Ferratima exhibits a closed type of blood vascular system consisting of the blood vessels, capillaries, and the heart. Due to the closed circulatory system, blood is confined to the heart and the blood vessels. Contractions keep the blood circulating in one direction. Smaller blood vessels supply the gut, nerve cord, and the body wall. Blood glands are present on the 4th, 5th, and the 6th segments. They produce the blood cells and the hemoglobin, which is dissolved in the blood plasma. Blood cells are phagocytic in nature. Earthworms lack specialized breathing devices. Respiratory exchange occurs through the moist body surface into the bloodstream. Excretory organs occur as segmentally arranged coiled tubules called the nephridia, singular is the nephridium. They are of three types. A. Septal nephridia, present on both the sides of the intersegmental septa of the segment 15 to the last that opens into the intestine. 2. Integumentary nephridia, attached to the lining of the body wall of the segment 3 to the last that open on the body surface. And 3. Pharyngeal nephridia, present as three paired tufts in the 4th, 5th, and 6th segments. These different types of the nephridia are basically similar in structure. Nephridia regulate the volume and composition of the body fluids. A nephridium starts out as a funnel that collects excess fluid from the coelomic chamber. The funnel connects with the tubular part of the nephridium, which delivers the waste through the pore to the surface in the body wall into the digestive tube. Nervous system is basically represented by ganglia arranged segment-wise on the ventral paired nerve cord. The nerve cords in the anterior region, third and fourth segments bifurcates laterally encircling the pharynx and joins the cerebral ganglia dorsally to form a nerve ring. The cerebral ganglia, along with the other nerves in the ring, integrate sensory input as well as command muscular responses of the body. The sensory system does not have eyes but does possess light and touch sensitive organs, receptor cells to distinguish the light intensities and to feel the vibrations in the ground. Worms have specialized chemoreceptors, taste receptors which react to the chemical stimuli. These sense organs are located on the anterior part of the worm. Earthworm is hermaphrodite, bisexual, that is, testes and ovaries are present in the same individual. There are two pairs of the testes present in the 10th and 11th segments. Their vasa differentia run up to the 18th segment where they join the prostatic duct. The two pairs of the accessory glands are present, one pair each in the 17th and the 19th segments. The common prostate and the spermatic duct vasa differentia opens to the exterior by a pair of the male genital pores on the ventrolateral side of the 18th segment. Four pairs of the spermatheca are located in the 6th and the 9th segments, one pair in each segment. They receive and store spermatozoa during copulation. One pair of ovaries is attached at the intersegmental septum of the 12th and the 13th segments. Ovarian funnels are present beneath the ovaries which continue into oviduct, joined together and open on the ventral side as a single median female genital pore on the 14th segment. A mutual exchange of the sperm occurs between the two worms during mating. One worm has to find another worm and they mate juxtaposing opposite gonadal openings, exchanging packets of sperms called spermatophores. Mature sperms and egg cells and nutritive fluid are deposited in the cocoons produced by the gland cells of the clitoris. Fertilization and development occur within the cocoons which are deposited in the soil. The ova, eggs, are fertilized by the sperm cells within the cocoon which then slips off the worm and is deposited in or on the soil. The cocoon holds the worm embryos. After about 3 weeks, each cocoon produces 2 to 20 baby worms with an average of 4. Development of the earthworm is direct, that is, there is no larva formed. Earthworms are known as friends of farmers because they make burrows in the soil and make it porous, which helps in respiration and penetration of the developing plant roots. The process of increasing fertility of the soil by the earthworms is called vermicomposting. This is also used as bait in game fishing. Thank you.